Is it possible to recover from selling out?
Mm.
We're going to be talking about the battle of two artists. I'm Joe.
I'm Josh.
You've got questions?
I'm feeling grounded.
Welcome to Feeling Grounded with your hosts, Josh and Joe.
I mean, if only Feeling Grounded 10 years from now, we sell out.
Who knows? Maybe if we're getting paid,
our future looks dim. Josh will slowly begin to like deceive each other and resent each other.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely not true. Hi, Joe. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. Been driving around a little bit. I just came back from my sister and my brother-in-law. I see my niece, which was nice. Roughly a 2-hour drive. Got me some gas, got me some coffee, and zoomed away. I'm a fan of driving. Are you?
You said you are a fan?
I am a fan, yeah.
Yeah, I am too. I not so much with kids in the back.
No.
But it is. I really like to drive. Yeah.
I remember you had said that before.
I know road trips, like when I was in college, Claire and I would just drive. We would go out and just drive, windows down, music blaring. It's the greatest thing ever. I love it.
I don't like it. I just can't trust it when other people are at the wheel because I get a headache. Not that I distrust their driving per se, but I just always get headaches when other people drive without fail. I have to be like in a certain position. I haven't been able to figure that out for the years I've been on this earth.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have to drive if I'm in the car. I wonder what would happen if we were in a car together.
We have been. I've been driving you, and I remember I remember one time because we were about to lead a retreat.
I'm the little spoon.
Yeah, but I remember I just sprayed a bunch of cologne maybe like a few hours before, and it was still pretty pungent. And you're just like, this car smells fantastic.
Oh, really?
I was like, the way you phrased it, you're like, I thought you were about to say, this car smells awful. I have to get out of here. But a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
I love cologne. I mean, it works just as well on me as it does on women, as it doesn't work on women. Yeah, I love it.
So what we want you guys all to do right now is subscribe to Feeling Grounded Podcast, like the video, share to any prospective person that might want to be interested in our content. Check us out because we are going to have digestible videos from these episodes, or even watch all of these episodes in one shot, and we'll see you again in 11 hours after or something like that. But what we want you guys all to do especially is subscribe to us at Feeling Grounded Podcast on Instagram, and also check us out on Patreon. We put exclusive content on both of those platforms. For only $3 a month on Patreon, you guys can see exclusive content that we genuinely love doing. Also, we are going to be putting up a Twitter account in the next few weeks, so be on the lookout for that. We want you guys to be seeing us on multiple places and exposing ourselves, not in a non-inappropriate way.
Danger.
Anything else, Josh?
And yeah, just looking forward. We're making some tweaks to our format. We're moving in a direction. We're trying to like make this as fine-tuned as possible. And so we're kind of seeing what works, what doesn't work, and go from there. Just thank you for listening and continue to do so.
We love you guys. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Clink.
It's time for Happy Crappy.
Okay, so happy, almost done with the house. You can see the studio's all set up. I have various things in the home. Got my shelves.
Look at that.
Got my guitars and basses, the piano's back there. In time, we're gonna put a sofa, pull-out sofa in here. So get to that whenever I can. And then just doing a lot of housework, like crazy stuff, painting and putting in doorknobs, painted like every room. We did furniture stuff. We got new couches. I got a dining table and chairs, stuff for outside, like all kinds of stuff is going on. So I've been spending a lot of time.
Patio stuff, right?
Yeah,
Patio
some
stuff?
patio stuff. Yep, some outside furniture, which I'm excited about because that'll be fun because we're gonna bonfire and a cool thing we can do out there. Got an air conditioner for upstairs. I said last time I wouldn't do it, but it was too hot, so I got one for our bedroom.
Knew you would.
Yeah. And then set up the studio, set up the basement, set up the garage. It's all cleaned up. The outside's good. Mowed the lawn. It's been crazy, but it's been very productive. And we're basically done. All that's left is just setting up our upper living room, which will be like a movie theater playroom space, which I'm stoked about. We have a projector and a projector screen and the big TV we just got and the big sectional, and we're gonna get carpeting, and so it needs carpet now. Then after the carpet's through, then we can set everything up and we're done skis.
Nice.
It's good. Yeah, so that's my happy.
It's so exciting to set up an apartment space or any type of living space.
Yeah,
because you make it your own.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And yeah, so that's mine. Just getting to work, being productive. That's my happy.
Good. I would say that for my happy, what I did a couple days ago, I went out with a few people from church, played disc golf again in probably about a few hours away from where I live. And what we did was we avoided a storm completely. I mean, it was probably storming in the background, maybe about 10 miles away, so you could hear it all, see the light, but it didn't hit us at all from where we were. So it was right at a brewery too. So I tried a couple samples before, turning in, and great conversations, great brethren. Yeah.
Nice. That's great. That's fun. Yeah, I have to get into this disc golf thing. I heard that it's very fun, and I'm way into that.
You honestly could get a starter set for about $9.
Nice.
Yeah,
I gotta give it a shot and see.
We'll find some from where you live. Do it before
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do it before I come up in a month.
There we go. Sure thing. It'll happen. We can play more spike ball too.
And I'll make up the rules.
Make up the rules. Good stuff. Okay, so want me to do crappy?
Yes.
All right, so my crappy is I have a lot of schoolwork to do tonight. So after this, I have like a midterm I got to do, and then a little bit of an assignment. I don't think it should take too long, but I keep pushing it off because of how much I've been doing housework. So that could also be my crappy, is doing housework. It's great. It's my happy because it's nice to get stuff done and accomplished off the list, but it's also crappy because it's literally been my obsession all week. I haven't done anything else except just take care of the house. I haven't really worked well. I haven't exercised. I haven't eaten well. So I'm just waiting for everything to be done so we can get back to stability and life routine and all that again.
Do you work well with change? I'm just curious.
I love change.
Okay.
A lot. I think oftentimes, I mean, everyone struggles emotionally with change, and I do too, but I really like change. I think it's important because we need to grow and need to have experiences, and that's what change does. It brings new things to you.
So my crappy is nothing. I don't have anything that I really am bummed about. It took me a while when writing notes up before meeting up with you. I just couldn't think of anything that was really, really bad. And oftentimes I've had to stretch for some of these episodes to figure out what was a crappy, just to fill up some space.
Right.
And I'm not lying to myself. There really is nothing that I can hone in on.
That's so great. That's a good thing. That's how it should be, No crappies, all happies, man. It's the way to live.
And it's odd because I feel like I should be shocked about this, but I earned it.
Yes.
The future is inevitable, but let's travel back in time.
July 21st, 1969. The famous moon landing occurred. Okay. So on this day in particular, it was the first step on the moon, right? When Neil Armstrong did his whole thing, he was the first person on the moon. And, he said his trademark line, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. So that happened at 2:34 a.m. on July 21st.
Now, what time zone?
The GMT, sorry, GMT.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know what time that is, but I'm sorry, I said 2:40 something. It was 2:56 a.m. 2:56 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
GMT.
Got it.
Okay. And a lot of people, Joe, thought that this was fake. They thought it was a conspiracy when they were watching it because of like a bunch of reasons. Because they didn't think like, how is it possible that we can watch something that's happening on the moon? And so all of these ideas, conspiracy theories, arise, and I wanted to like talk about some of them today.
Yeah, from what I understand, one of the reasons that people were so doubtful was because there was there was wind.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could see the flag was kind of moving a little bit and swaying.
Okay.
And they were like, it was like, there's no wind on the moon. How is this possible?
Yeah.
Or that they thought that the shuttle looked like the shuttle from a movie.
2001: Space Odyssey.
Either that or maybe another.
Because that came out the year before.
Right. Yeah. So the Stanley Kubrick stuff. So it says appearances, moon landing conspiracy theories claim that some or all elements of the Apollo program and the associated moon landings were hoaxes staged by NASA, possibly with the aid of other organizations. The most notable claim is that the 6 crewed landings from 69 to 72 were faked and that 12 Apollo astronauts did not actually walk on the moon.
Uh-huh.
Various groups and individuals have made claims since the 70s that NASA and others knowingly misled the public into believing the landings happened by manufacturing, tampering, or destroying evidence, including photos, telemetry tapes, radio and TV transmissions, and moon rock samples. So in 1980, the Flat Earth Society, which we know they make great content,
Oh, of course,
accused NASA of faking the landings, arguing that they were staged by Hollywood with Walt Disney sponsorship, based on a script by Arthur C. Clarke and directed by Stanley Kubrick. Folklorist Linda suggested that writer-director Peter Hyams' film Capricorn 1, which shows a hoax journey to Mars in a spacecraft that looks identical to the Apollo craft, might have given a boost to the hoax theory's popularity in the post-Vietnam War era. Okay, so this sees a parallel with the other attitudes,
yeah.
and all that stuff. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think Stanley Kubrick has been associated with a lot of conspiracy theories, that included with the moon landing, but also the thing that most interested me, one of my favorite movies by Kubrick is his last one, Eyes Wide Shut. Starring Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman at that time in 1999. They were still very much together for a little bit while longer. But the point is with the conspiracy theory, it's a very risque type of movie. If you've ever seen it, very good movie.
I haven't seen it. It's on my list. I want to watch it.
You should. Highly recommend it. But halfway through the film, Tom Cruise's character, without going into too much detail, he finds his way. He kind of makes an effort to do so, going into a mansion, but it eventually becomes a sex party. He didn't know, but it was implied from the person inviting him, telling him the password to get in. He gets to the mansion, which was filmed at the Rothschild. That kind of plays into what I'm about to talk about. But he eventually gets caught, Tom Cruise, and a whole bunch of other stuff ensues and kind of spirals the plot out of control, for sure. A place where he is way out of his depth, Tom Cruise's character. But supposedly in the conspiracy realm, 24 minutes out of that entire film was deleted by the Warner executives. Kubrick insisted that it stay in, and they said no, Warner Brothers, I believe it was Warner Brothers. And then Kubrick said, I'm going to keep it in anyway. Left the meeting with those executives. A couple days later, found dead.
Oh, whoa.
I don't know I think officially, I don't know if it was like suicide. It probably wasn't. I think it was by like natural causes, something like that.
Right.
But the point still remains that what was in those 24 minutes?
So it wasn't in because he died.
Yeah, they did not put it in.
They didn't put the 24 minutes in.
Because he died before it was released. Yep.
Right. Wow.
And I look at all the interviews with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman talking about Stanley, and I don't think they mention anything about the 24 minutes, however, because this is where it comes in conspiracy realm, but they seem very distraught. Yeah. But check it out on YouTube and make your own assumptions. I'm not telling anybody to think one way or the other, but it's very interesting
Right.
that it would be, people are led to believe that it exposes a little bit of Illuminati secret society type of stuff, which it makes sense. Check out the movie because, what did they take out?
Right. There you go. How about that? And then the same with the moon landing stuff too. I mean, I don't think it was a conspiracy, but do your own research, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing was like the flag, and just like it looked like it was in a studio setting or whatever. They thought it was like, I think because they like practiced the day before or 2 days before. I don't know how long it takes to get to the moon, but maybe like before the mission started in like a similar looking space. So they're thinking that maybe they just filmed that or didn't actually go to the moon and just claimed that they did. And then people argue, like scientists argue, that like the technology wasn't strong enough, like it wasn't good enough to get them to the moon, or like all these things that they're kind of arguing. Then the way that the sun was with like solar flares and all this stuff that was happening at that time, and like there's no way they could have done it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, I believe that they did it, but who knows? I don't.
July 21st, 1978. The film Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, based on the Beatles, premiered in New York City, starring the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton, and other musicians / comedians like Steve Martin, and all of his gray-haired glory. Currently holding 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Bee Gees are recorded saying it sucked. They didn't like it. George Martin, the Beatles producer back in the 60s, produced the music. You want to know why? Because he was worried that somebody would do a worse job. The Beatles refused to cameo. They actively distanced themselves from this project. And George Harrison told it like it was. He said, those artists are definitely established, Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees for sure, but were too greedy and overstretched themselves, had too much ego, too much hubris. The more you make, the more you want to make, and it damages their images. And I would wholeheartedly agree. I have never seen this all the way through. I've always stopped it.
Right.
So cringe. I know
Claire saw it. My wife saw it. She said she did not like it. So I'll take her word for it. But I mean, whenever they do something that, like, you just want to see the Beatles, like why would they have done this? Like have other people play? Because
the Bee Gees were the hot thing back in 78, 77 that came out, right. Staying Alive.
But why not just use the Beatles? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But who knows? Who knows what people were thinking?
I think one thing that a lot of people should look back to, think of the Bee Gees as a disco band, what will you will. But they were a rock band in the 60s. Check them out, like from
the early stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like before Robin Gibb left to pursue a solo career and then came back to the Bee Gees for disco time, check out before he left and you're golden.
Definitely. Did you see that Foo Fighters is doing a BG cover album?
No.
Did you see that?
No.
So they're rebranding themselves the DGs, and they're doing like
just for this album, right?
Yeah, just for this album.
Okay.
They're doing like maybe 5 EP. They're doing like 5 of like the Bee Gees' like biggest songs. It might have already come out.
Yeah, it might have already come out. We'll see.
We can talk about that too in future.
I would love to.
I love the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl is like one of my heroes. Like he's like such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. He does a lot for like music and education, which is big, I think. Yeah. So anything more you want to talk about the Sgt. Pepper's film?
No, let's forget about this movie.
Let's just move on. It was awful.
Entertainment. Where's the entertainment, guys?
So last time we talked about Cardinal Black was a few weeks ago. They just released their EP a couple days ago, on July 16th, Friday. 2 songs, Tell Me How It Feels and Jump In, were released as singles earlier this year. to incredible success. Tell Me How It Feels was like unbridled praise. And Chris Buck, their guitarist, has a fantastic following on his own YouTube channel. You know, apparently with this EP that just came out with 4 songs, including Tell Me How It Feels and Jump In, it's number 1 on the rock album chart. And when Friday happened, I think it was number 8 in the main chart, like a few behind John Mayer's Sob Rock. Yeah. Which is incredible. For having a name that wasn't exactly established,
right?
I suppose you might be riding on the success of the guitarist YouTube channel too, and Instagram channel as well. That's quite astounding.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, they're a great band. I mean, they have great music. I really liked all the songs. But yeah, I think that has something to do with it. And I think whenever you have kind of an established audience, they're going to listen to, this EP, and that's going to bring some attention to it. It's great marketing, But yeah, Chris Buck, awesome guitarist, really, really good, very talented. Like, we talked about before, I love his melodic structuring. His phrasing is awesome. And he always knows what to do for the songs. And yeah, definitely. I haven't listened too much of this John Mayer one, so you should talk more into that.
I listened to it on the way to work, all the way through. It captures a very synth-laced sound from the 1980s, which is nostalgic.
That's like so popular right now.
It is so popular.
Yeah.
You remember talking about The Weeknd a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and then just like talking about pop music in general, like mainstream, it's very much like 80s. So
but it like even the intro song, it reminded me of Toto's Africa. I think that's been cited quite a lot.
Right.
But some of the album was recorded, I believe, in the pandemic. Other songs were already released as singles as early as 2018.
Well,
like 3 or 4 of those songs were put onto the album. I've got my own opinion about that. I didn't like how they were already released as singles. Like, let them stand on their own as singles.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Putting it on that, it makes me feel cheated.
Right.
So,
yeah, because I mean, we've had a lot of time to listen to that. Like, why not come up with new material? Like, you can just kind of throw that out there instead of rehashing the stuff you've released years ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were just unhappy with, maybe didn't get as many listens as he wanted, so then he wanted to re-release
them as one whole package. Yeah, like I said before, I've listened to it once through already, and then a few songs again on their own. I can't speak fully for my future self, but I can't help but feel underwhelmed by the effort in its entirety.
So the majority of the songs he did during quarantine, right? So he recorded them during that time period. That's why it's called Sob Rock.
Yeah, I think it could be music to chill to. It could be music to cry to. It could be music to drive a sob, SAAB to. I don't know, like, because sobs were popular in the 80s, I'm sure.
Probably.
So there's a subtext there, but it's an incredibly relaxed album for sure. I loved listening to it like on a nice sunny Friday day, which I think he was going for that chill vibe. But cool. I guess I just feel like is my favorite. That was one of the favorite songs, like when it was released as a single. I've always loved that since 2019. Still love it. The song "Why You Know Love Me." That's the title. Why You Know Love Me.
Like one of those old memes.
Yep. Yes. 2012 is calling our name. It's
man.
Great melody. A few people that I've talked to don't like the title. Obviously, it's a very goofy title. But that's what kind of can turn people off. However, the last song, "All I Want Is to Be With You," made it all worth it. I felt like there was a significant lack of guitar solos in this album. Maybe he was reserved, felt like he wasn't, like, he was saving it up.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. Was how was like the solos? Is there a lot of good guitar work, or is it
very underwhelming? Very underwhelming. I mean,
it's kind of more popish.
Yep, great album for melodies, but as far as guitar, it left me wanting more. Left something to be desired.
It's too bad.
So that's where I'm at for my feelings. It could change, but that's where I'm at. I would still listen to it on a road trip, sure, but the re-listenability remains to be seen. Like, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably listen to it tonight. Actually, it might be a good time. Just chill back and listen.
Mhm.
A little bit of bourbon.
Not too much bourbon. But who wins, in my opinion,
Mhm.
even if they're 4 songs, yeah, Cardinal Black.
Yeah, I think there's something about being like fresh. I know that they've been around for a while, but to just like release something officially
Mhm.
in modern, more recent times, there's something about that. Like you have more energy, you have more desire, you have more drive. Your music is good. Like especially with EPs, like the songs are good.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna release them because they're good,
Mhm.
And with like a bigger album, like a lot of them can just be like, oh, that's just filler content.
Yeah, except with John Mayer's case, I agree with you. I would say that he has everything that he can do to push his boundaries, and it felt like he just was so comfortable.
I see. Yeah, well, there you go. How about that?
But it's
And
easy to be comfortable.
I'm really curious to see how. Well, I mean, we're kind of starting to see that now with like a bunch of creators. A lot of the artists are coming out and they're releasing the content that they made during quarantine, and just to kind of see how that has impacted their artistic, creativity and their development and their ideas and all that stuff is interesting. Like, I think about the Bo Burnham thing that we talked about, the inside, like how that was kind of depressing and whatever. So I feel like it's just kind of interesting that like John Mayer would release something called Sob Rock during his time. And I obviously I don't know too much about the album yet, but it sounds to me like it's like him talking about the rough time of
Mhm.
what we went through. And so I'm curious to see what else, like what other artists are going to release in coming months
Mhm.
through those stuff that they produced. All right, guys. So now next up, we're going to listen to Cardinal Black's "Warm Love," which is as you can see, it's an official live session, and this is exclusively for Patreon. So if you want to watch us react to this and to listen to it yourself, follow, become a patron on Patreon so that you can listen. And it's only what, $3, right? For this.
Mhm.
So think about it, consider it, and we appreciate you guys.
You've got questions. You're feeling grounded.
Joe, we got questions.
We do. All right. So our questions are coming from ZH Iron Swim. Thank you very much for sending our questions out. He says, all right, we've got some Olympics coming up soon, and you guys did mention the trials not too long ago. So some Olympic themed questions for you. Let's take them one at a time because this is a big one, Josh. Big post. Which Olympic sport would you most like to participate in? Talent, not an object.
Probably like BMX stuff.
Okay.
It was always a dream of mine to like be good at like BMX biking.
Mm-hmm. For me, it would probably be swim. I've had a background in that, and it's never faltered. So that would probably be me. What is your favorite sport to watch during the Olympics?
You go first.
Swim, track and field, beach volleyball.
I concur. Yeah, all those definitely. Swimming is like really exciting, actually.
Yeah. Any sport you never tried before that you would like to after watching them on the Olympics? For me, it would be archery.
Sport you never tried before that you would like to after watching them on the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I really like. So Joe, I've done archery. Did you know this? I used to do.
No, I never knew.
I used to teach archery at camp. I like learned how to shoot bow and arrow, and I would do it during the summer. I would. It was fun.
Nice.
I'm gonna skip that one.
Okay. Any favorite Olympic memories from watching?
Michael Phelps.
Yeah, so the one that comes to mind, of course, in 2008, Michael Phelps beat I believe it was Millard Cavich it was either the 100 or the 200 fly. I'm just going to say 200 fly. I'm not entirely certain. I forget what it was, but I remember I was at a friend's house. We were all at a get together and we saw that where he beat out Millard Cavich by 1/100th of a second.
Yeah.
Got the gold. I erupted. Everyone erupted around the world.
Did. The whole world did. Yeah, it was crazy to watch. It's probably one of the most exciting things like I've ever seen.
And I will look at that one for years to come as one of the greatest that I could witness. Any other memories?
No, that's like the
That's
biggest
the
one.
one.
That's the
If you could
one.
add one new event to the Olympics, what would it be? 2 words: disc golf. I'm sponsoring it because I've got. I'm new to it, but you know it's coming up in popularity from what I've known from a few other people who played it a long time. It is, so we'll see.
Nice. I'm gonna say professional fort building, just to be a tool.
What about sandcastles?
Oh, even better.
That would be a good one. Any favorite athletes at this moment in time? Caleb Dressel and Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, I don't really have any, to be honest. I haven't followed in a while. Usain Bolt. Well, he's not competing.
No. They have a new sprinter.
Mm.
P.S. Josh, I also like the refrigeration idea. It's pretty cool. Thank you.
It's pretty cool.
Thank you, ZH.
Do you get it? It's a joke.
I don't get any jokes.
Nice. Okay. We did it. So thank you, Zach, for asking questions. I hope you feel grounded. And if you have questions,
we've gotten our fix, Josh, so we also feel grounded.
Yeah, we did it. We did it.
So what we want you guys all to do right now is subscribe to Feeling Grounded Podcast, like the video, share to any prospective person that might be interested in our content. Check us out on Instagram. We want you guys to see us on that platform. You can get links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also numerous others. Check us out on Patreon if you guys haven't already. It's $3 a month to see exclusive content that Josh and I genuinely enjoy doing. You're also going to see digestible content come up on YouTube. We appreciate you guys, and we can't wait to see you guys for next episode. You've got questions?
You're feeling grounded.